I mean, if you go by the Sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ ate meat quite rarely, but partly, you know, it was because meat was wealth, like livestock is wealth in traditional cultures. So you don't sacrifice unless you have a guest or something like that. And Mauritanians always, where I lived in Mauritania, they always loved the guest because they would sacrifice. But even the Mauritanians that I lived with, traditionally they just sprinkled a little bit of meat on. It's like the Chinese. You know, the Chinese just add a little bit for taste, but they don't eat a lot of meat. Like we eat this huge. You'll have these people that eat this pound steak.
Yes, right.
It's amazing how they can consume that much meat.
Well, like Moroccans, they put the meat right in the middle of the couscous.
Yeah.
So you have to dig. You have to go towards it.
So I think you know that depends on. I mean, obviously it's halal, and we can't tell anybody not to eat. You know, it's very important that these things. A lot of these things are by choice. As long as it's halal and you can afford it, it's permitted to eat it unless it's going to harm your health. And that's why we shouldn't forget that, you know, that we're not trying to deprive people of the blessings that Allah has given them. But what's good for you, we know that eating a lot of meat's not good for you. Arteriosclerosis comes from it. So I personally, I mean, I'm semi-vegetarian, and I don't like to eat meat that's not organic and free range. Even the eggs I eat are free range. These are luxuries. I'm very well aware of that. A lot of people can't afford.
Well, it's interesting, Ibrahim Ibn Adham's statement to someone who came to him complaining about the high prices of food. You know, it's
supply and demand.
Make it cheap.
That's Sufi economics.
Cheapen it with hunger.
Yeah, Sufi economics. Because he just told him, don't eat it, and the price will go down because it's supply and demand. That's a good point. So, but you know, if you're able to raise chickens. That's a blessing, you know, because they really provide for you and they're easy maintenance.
So, but that was also a question related to like stunning the chicken and chicken.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of meat now, they stun it first before they slaughter it. You know, it's definitely a shubha in that.
Well, I think the person has actually said that, you know, they stun it and the chicken actually dies before.
No, that's a mawquda. I mean, that's prohibited.
You can't eat that.
Yeah, you can't eat that. Although this is a khilaf, and Qadi Abu Bakr ibn al-Arabi, you know, this was a khilaf in the Andalusians because ta'amu ahl al-kitab, you know, is
it's a fatal that issue.
Hilul lakum, you know. So the food of the people of the book is halal for you. I would, if you're going to eat that, I would eat free range organic kosher before I eat any Christian meat.
Right.
You know, I think most, like the idea that Safeway's Christian or any of these things, it's very doubtful. And then remember, a lot of the meat is in the same places where there's pork.
Yes, right.
And a lot of, they don't clean, they'll just grind the meat from the same. You know, so they'll do pork and then they'll do beef and things. So they've found horse meat in Safeway meat. So the only one I would trust is the kosher meat. I think they have very rigorous, especially the more like organic free range. But again, a lot of people don't want to support because some of it, you know, and will end up supporting maybe Israel or something like that. So there's people that have issues with that. But yeah, it's a big problem, you know. So the best thing is, I think our Muslim community needs to be more vigilant about supporting halal, but I would really prefer if they do, you know, free range, treat the animals humanely, because I personally think eating a lot of the animals is just not, it's unethical now, just the way they're killed and raised. I mean, I've seen how they raise modern animals. You know, my grandfather had a cattle ranch, and so I spent summers on a cattle ranch. And, you know, he really cared about animals. It was a very different world. Now it's just what they do. They feed them other animals now, you know, which is crazy. That's how they got mad cow's disease and things.
There any other questions there?